So Park City condos come in all different shapes, sizes, price points, location. And this is a conversation I have with clients every day, as most of our buyers are from out of state. They do not live in Utah or Park City. Most of them come from California or Texas or Florida or the East Coast somewhere. And we have this conversation every day about the different types of condos, the different amenities based on location, and the wide range of price points that are offered in the Park City market area. So let's have a candid conversation about what that looks like in Park City, where the best deals are right now, and then also where the most exciting new developments are right now. The conversation primarily usually focuses on, if we're talking about a condo or townhome for that matter, we're looking at mostly somewhere around Old Town, Canyons Village, Deer Valley Resort, or now the other side of Deer Valley where the new Deer Valley East Village expansion is, and the Jordanelle area across Highway 40 from the new Deer Valley East Village. So if you're not living in the property full time and you live out of state, having a condo or townhome where you have an HOA that handles all the exterior maintenance and keeps an eye on things and the landscaping and the snow removal is really beneficial. If you're looking for an area that has maybe a little more inventory than usual and you could potentially get a deal or be somewhat negotiable, would be most likely probably Old Town and Canyons Village. If that's not a concern and you want something like, or you want the newest of the new, the most exciting new development, then we're going to be looking over like in Deer Valley's new East Village and the Jordanelle area on that side. Now, I'm going to focus on those areas for today and just have a candid, like I said, the conversation I'm having with our clients every day related to these areas. And I'm not going to really touch on Empire Pass or Upper Deer Valley right now. This inventory is really low. Prices are still staying tight because of that. And properties are selling fairly in a short amount of time because of that limited supply right now. Let's jump in. This happening in Canyons Village, which is a great area to come into Park City if you're okay with snowboarders. If you're like, hey, I don't want to be around snowboarders, I want the Deer Valley experience, and Canyons Village isn't for you. But if you're okay with that, and maybe you want to rent it when you're not using it, and you want in a developed, already established ski village that already has amenities like the restaurants and the ski shops and all the chairlifts in place, but is still improving, and there's still some development, new development coming in, Canyons Village is something to really consider. When compared to East Village, Canyons Village, it looks like a real bargain right now. If we're looking at Canyons, inventory has a good amount of different properties to choose from in all different price points. So there are older properties that are not right in the village, a little bit lower down between the Cabriolet and the actual village area, like Red Pine and Hidden Creek. But if we want to get up into the village, some of the ones that our clients own in that are produce well, that they really enjoy, and whether they're renting them or just doing personal use or doing a hybrid of both, would be properties like Sundial Lodge and the Lodge at Westgate, which I think there's a Sundial Lodge is a 2-bedroom on the market right now, 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $1.2 million. So you walk right out, you're in the village, you're right in the middle between 2 gondolas, including the brand new Sunrise gondola. And it's a great place to be for this vacation property or an investment property. They do really well. And Westgate has similar type of properties, although the inventory at Westgate's very low right now. I don't believe there's any 2-bedrooms on the market. But Westgate, similar price points as Sundial. Westgate's a lot larger than Sundial. It has more amenities within the actual property. So some people do having that, but being bigger, I kind of get lost every time I go into Westgate. So that's always kind of funny. Sundial's a little more easy to navigate. If we want to bump it up a little bit, right across from Sundial is the newer Pendry, which is part of the Montage family. And there's price ranges in there from under $1 million to up over $3 million. But when you compare that to what properties are going for in the new Deer Valley East Village, it looks like a good buy now. And Pendry's very nice, has a couple great restaurants. It is literally, you step out of Pendry and you're right at the new Sunrise Gondola, which will take you up to the mid-mountain. It's a nice place to stay at, to après at. In the afternoons, in the wintertime, you'll come out and there's music and there's cornhole and people are hanging out and having cocktails. And it's just a good vibe outside of Pendry. There's a bowling alley down below and a rooftop pool, and it's just a really nice property to consider. Right across from Pendry is Lift, another condo, which is same great location, easy access. We can tell you more about that. I think a couple of units available right now at Lyft. If we go just a little bit above those two, on the actual mountain, which you can actually ski right into, is Apex Residences. Now, if you're wanting a larger townhome type property that you can actually ski right to your building or to your door, Apex Residences are a good option there. 3-4 bedroom and above, really nice finishes, nice views looking back down away from the mountain, great pool and clubhouse with a game room. So it's a neat place, and I'm a big fan of Apex. I've gone through a lot of properties in Apex. They're a little bit unique, and some are more done up and upgraded than others, but they're all very nice and great location for ski access or mountain access. So if you want a larger property and has something that it sounds like it could work for you, let us know. We'll walk you through what Apex has available and what they offer. If we come out of the village and come down to Lower Canyons area, that's where the Waldorf is. And the Waldorf and Canyons area is a whole lot more accessible price range wise than the new Waldorf at Deer Valley is going to be. And there's units at the Waldorf and Canyons for under $1 million, and you can get a 3-bedroom unit right around the $2 million range. So compared to 3,000 plus per square foot at the new Canyons in Deer Valley, that's going to be down in 2.5 years, you can get into the Waldorf at Deer Canyons Village area right now for a much more accessible price point. Another property I really like in Canyons Village is Juniper Landing. They're townhomes right near the Waldorf as well. Very nice, mountainy feel, wood beams, nice pool, workout area. You're looking right at the Waldorf. Your ski access would be through the Frostwood Gondola, which would be the same as through the Waldorf. So although these are not in the village, you don't have to get in the car and drive. You can just go right over to the Frostwood Gondola, and you just take that right up to Canyons Village area, and it's just super easy access. The Frostwood Gondolas will serve those, the Fairway Villas and other townhomes around that area, which there's a number of them. So you have a lot of options in Canyons Village, and the price for points, like some maybe think they were really pricey, but now you're looking at the new stuff coming in, and Canyons is looking good now. And if you want to subsidize your expenses with renting them out, the area rents very well year round as well. So that's something else to consider. The other property, newer property in the Lower Canyons Village area is Blackstone Residences. They have condos and townhome. We can talk about that. Just reach out anytime, and happy to fill you in what those are all about and what's available there. One other property in Canyons Village worth mentioning is the Grand Summit. And the Grand Summit, mostly fractional ownership, like 1/8 ownership. There occasionally is a full ownership property that comes on the market, but they're very rare. Most people that buy at the Grand Summit do so for the fractional ownership, which does have a lot of usage, which is enough for most people that are coming to Park City. But I do talk to a lot of people that see the price, oh, 300 grand, 400 grand. Oh, that's great. I want this property. They don't realize that it's fractional, that you don't own the whole property. You own 1/8 of the property. And the way that the usage works, it's through a calendar system, and it's staggered, and it rotates per year. And if that's something that you have interest in, reach out and I'll fill you in on that. But there's lots of different options in Canyons, and get into Canyons Village area condos for realistically, you can get in for under 500,000 up to as much as you want to pay, depending on the size, location, ski access, and amenities. That's where we're talking with a lot of clients right now. But let's hop over to Old Town. And when I say Old Town, it's not all right Main Street. Like when most people think about Old Town, I think about Main Street, but for the real estate market area, Old Town, let's talk about the Main Street adjacent properties. There's the main base of Park City Mountain Resort, and then we're over to Silver Star area. So start over at Silver Star, because if you're not familiar with Silver Star, you should be. Silver Star is great, typically has limited inventory. Silver Star Village has a little ski bike shop. It has a Silver Star Cafe restaurant, a trail, one of the most popular trails in Park City in the summer for hiking and biking. Armstrong Sparrow bases out of there. It's just a really good area with really nice properties, condos and townhomes, very well taken care of, highly thought after, and they sell very well and maintain their value well. That's a really good property. We've sold a number of those units, and our clients who have bought in there and who have lived in there and moved for whatever reason, usually it's, hey, we've owned it for 10 years. I used it for vacation property, and now we want to live here full time. And a lot of times when people go from having a vacation home that they use a couple of weeks a year to either spending more time or moving full time, the location of where they're at or the type of property they're in most often changes. And we deal with that a lot with clients. But Silver Star is great. If we hop over to the Park City main base, which is for some people would walk to Main Street from there. Other people would want to maybe take a shuttle or an Uber. It's not far in the winter. If it's cold, it's a little bit of a trek, but there's a number of different condos, whether you're right there at the base or just a base adjacent to the main base of Park City Mountain. And a couple that we sold a lot of that are doing really right now are Snowflower and Silver King. Now, Silver King is just across the parking lot from the main base. And it's a nice, good building that has some good units that come on the market with a reasonable, attainable price points. And Snowflower also it's one of the older buildings, older properties, but it's selling very good. There's a number of units on the market right now. We just had a client just bought 2 in there. And you walk right out of the owner's locker room or ski room at Snowflower, and you're right on the slopes. Now, you're getting a 2-bedroom in there for $1.4 million, right around that price range, and you're right on the mountain. And they rent very well and they live very well. And you come out, all the summer amenities, the trail access and mountain access and all the restaurants that Park City Mountain has to offer. It's a really desirable development. If we go a little closer to Main Street area, you have all the number of streets. You have Empire, you have Woodside, you have Park Ave, you have Main Street, and there's condos, single family homes and townhomes lined all up and down there from all price ranges. But what I've seen right now is that there's a large number of older condos under $1 million. So if price is your apprehension for Park City, don't let it be. You can get into Park City at any price point. If you want the more luxurious type condo or more amenity rich condo, you're going to look at the Parkite. You're going to look at Sky Lodge. You're going to look at some of these other properties on Main Street, but you don't have to be there. We have clients in all price ranges and property types. It depends what works best for you and for your needs. Do you need the amenities? Do you want to have direct ski access? Can you handle a short distance from skiing? Old Town has all of that. And the inventory and selection right now is pretty good. It's not a bad time to look as there's more inventory in the market. Properties potentially are more negotiable price rise. So something to consider, something to look at. So we've hit Park Canyons Village. We've talked about Old Town a bit, which I think right now are some of 2 of the hottest areas as far as a decent amount of inventory. And the price points are pretty good, and you can potentially negotiate a price even lower if you're a buyer coming in there because of the amount of inventory. We're going to skip Deer Valley, Empire Pass, and Upper Deer Valley for today's conversation, just because there's not a lot of inventory, so their market's kind of tight, and the stuff that's prices are holding tight, and they're selling really good. But most of the excitement in the conversations I'm having right now, like I said, are Old Town, Canyons Village, and then we go over to East Village. So if we're at East Village, obviously, we've talked about it countless times before. Super exciting. Everything that's going to go in there is going to be insane. It's going to be great. You're looking a few years out still of heavy construction before the restaurants and shops and the village is really open and done. So a few years for that. But there's people are buying and they're selling out a lot pre-construction or during construction, a lot of the properties. The Grand Hyatt is up and going right now, and there's a number of resales currently on the market. But if you're looking for, hey, we don't care about the inventory or the negotiability. We want new, we want exciting, we want to be in the new village. That's where we want to be, or we want to be new village adjacent, like on the Jordanelle side. We'll talk about that too. But in the village right now, in Deer Valley's new East Village, I'm sure you've heard of the Four Seasons Deer Valley and the Waldorf Astoria Deer Valley. We're talking price points in there starting around $3,000 per square foot and going up, generally speaking. And both the Four Seasons and the Waldorf both are going to have 2 towers, a residence tower and a hotel tower. The Four Seasons hotel tower is sold out. That is a tower that allows nightly rental. There are units available in the Four Seasons residence towers that does not allow nightly rentals. For the Waldorf Astoria Deer Valley, there are units available in both the hotel tower and the residence tower. So call us for more information on that. We'll fill you in. Another one right there in the new village is called Corbant. A little bit lower price point, as it's not a Four Seasons or Waldorf. They're going to have 5 buildings there, with the first building being done next year. Units available, prices vary depending on floor and direction you face, but another great option to get in Deer Valley's new East Village. But if you want something larger, you don't want to be in a condo, you want to be in a townhome, but you want to be close to East Village, there are a number of offerings in East Village area as well in the townhome type of sphere, like Marcella Landing, like the Havens at Deercrest. like Valverde. So these are all properties as well that you can have a larger property with your own garage, with your own hot tub, with direct ski access that still is maintained, the exterior, the snow removal and exterior maintenance by the HOA. So there are a number of brand new constructions coming up in that realm as well. So if being right in the village isn't that important to you, it's not a priority, or do you want to be like, I don't really want to pay that much. I don't need to pay $8 million, $10 million for a condo. I want to get a little more for my money, or I'm not going to use it that much, or whatever. We hop over to the Jordanelle side, which is it's a very short distance away. It's going to be serviced by shuttles, which will take you back to the East Village. That's not going to be far, a few minutes, 5 minutes, when it's up and going. But there's a lot of different new developments going on the Jordanelle side as well. Like Mayflower Lakeside, we have a number of clients who have bought 2-bedroom condos that are being built right now at Mayflower Lakeside for around $1.2 million. Mayflower Lakeside also has townhomes as well if you want something a little bit bigger with a garage, going to be in the low $2 million range. There's also a number of clients that have bought at other townhomes that are a little taller, skinny, called the Point at Current. And they're right in the amenity center. With amenities, there's going to be restaurants, shops, and stores. So the Point at Current, we have 2 clients that just bought in there, and they're 2- and 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages. And they're like in the low to mid $1 million range for brand new construction. That's pretty amazing. And then you got Skyridge, which is great. They're mostly single families over there. There is going to be a hotel, like a condo hotel they're building by their golf training center, but they're affiliated with Deer Valley Resort. They allow nightly rentals. Most of the homes all the homes are custom built. There's a few on the market right now, but a lot of people are buying lots and building or waiting for a spec to come on and need to build. But that's another good option if you want more of a single family type of environment, size wise, 4 or 5 bedroom with lake views, but all the access to all the resort activities, and don't want to spend $20 million. Skyridge is something that we can look at as well. So the amenities that are going in around the Jordanelle, there's going to be a lot over there as well, which are going to include, I mentioned, shops and restaurants. There's a whole trail system. There's an equestrian center. There's a golf training center. And all the lake activities right next to Jordanelle. If you haven't been to Jordanelle in the summer, there's a marina that has boat rentals and jet ski, wave runner rentals and fishing and cabanas and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to do in Park City year-round. If you want to be in a more established area like Haynes Village, or you want a more historic area with the galleries and shops and bars like Main Street, or you want the brand new resort amenities, the luxury amenities that are coming into Deer Valley's new East Village, there's options for wherever you want to be and however much you want to spend in Park City. And we deal with them all. Reach out. I'm Mike Diamond with Park City Brokers. I'm happy to help you out. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what best fits you in your Park City real estate goals. Look forward to meeting you, and I'll see you on the next one.